And I think a lot of people get this confused, and I certainly did before I had ever ridden an enduro two-stroke. In the woods, that thing is amazing. It is nothing like a two-stroke motocross bike. They are completely different. I've made a video in the past talking about how you're riding a 125 wrong, and you have to ride it high in the RPMs. That is true on most two-strokes, most motocross two-strokes, let me preface. Even the cross-country two-strokes are a little less linear, especially the carbureted ones as well. Now, on this bike, it's oil injected, fuel injected as well, and it's tuned to have a really, really linear power delivery. Part of that is through the pipe, part of that is probably comes from the fuel injection and all that stuff. The power valve, I think, as well. I'm not a mechanic, I don't know a whole ton about engines, but what I do know is how bikes feel. And this one feels completely different than a motocross two-stroke. So I think a lot of times when people sort of like argue with me in the comments about my two-stroke videos and my takes on two-strokes, they don't realize that I'm talking about motocross two-strokes. And they're like, well, you know, it doesn't bog if you know how to ride it and blah, 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 and all this bullshit. Okay, I know that. That's the whole freaking reason I was making the video, was to say you have to ride it high in the RPMs. But people want to get on the internet, they want to be right, they don't care about actually like doing critical thinking. Anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent, sorry about that. My whole point to that was this bike was completely different than that. And if this is the type of bike that those people who like to argue with me are riding, I completely see why they come to those conclusions, because this one has an extremely linear power band. So much so that it kind of feels like a four-stroke on the trails. You can lug it, you can creep around in first gear, even second gear. It doesn't feel like it's gonna stall. It's like a tractor on the trails, and it's awesome. It's really, really good for that. On the motocross track, it gets a little weird because the power doesn't like hit, it doesn't punch. It just kind of rolls on.